Yeah, they are obsessed with it, and it is affecting Biden's administration in a very critical time. As I said earlier, though, during the break, even if some senators, they're practical, many of them, even if they decide it's constitutional, we can actually try a president on an impeachment charge, I think some of those same senators will say it's not prudent, that this will needlessly divide the country, and it will take away from the things that Joe Biden wants to get done in these first few months that he's in office. So I don't see it coming to a conviction. I think there are a lot of senators who would rather simply dismiss it.
I wonder, this is the question that I have. The truth is, if you look at, and Andy has, like I said, Andy has looked at the scholarship. You look at the scholarship, Andy, you could argue it this way, you can argue it that way. But then if you put in what Wes is saying, the practicality, and then if you're Joe Biden trying to get your people to even share the committees,
right?
You put all of that in the, and COVID, okay? You put all of that in the mix, and don't you say to yourself, for the sake of the country, this is not worth doing, and we do have a legitimate constitutional basis for saying no.
You do. And Joe Biden should take a page out of his 1999 memorandum to the Democratic caucus, and I quote, "The framers did not mean that this political process, meaning impeachment, was to be a partisan process. Instead, they meant for it to be political in the higher," and that's in quote, "sense. The process was to be conducted in a way that would best secure the public interest, or in their phrase, quote, the general welfare." That's Joe Biden in 1999 to the Democratic caucus.
The general welfare here would be get on with the business of government and not do this, not impeach a president who's no longer in office.
Yeah, I mean, reinvigorate. I just don't understand why Democrats think it's smart to put Donald Trump back in the spotlight, likely lose the vote, so he's exonerated again. Your first president to be impeached twice, but also first president to be acquitted twice. What does that tell you about the Democrats? And then puts him back in the spotlight as someone who they were trying to blame for all this violence, which they could keep doing without impeachment.
But I don't understand.
But if he's acquitted from it, then no, he wasn't responsible.
Why? If you know you're not going to win.
They don't understand.
Okay, they did it last time because they knew they weren't going to win also, and it was a much different case. It was much more complex. There was a lot of issues, and the president was running for re-election.
Right.
Now the president is not the president anymore. The election is over. It is done. It is finished. Joe Biden and is the president. We have Vice President Harris. That's what we have. Why in the world would you now take up the time and effort to bring back to life, so to speak, the very person you're saying you want to make a footnote in history?
And you're not making them a footnote.
No, you're making them a book.
Yes. The first one impeached, and then all of the legal scholars that will weigh in on impeachment post. Yeah, but now it'll be a reality. Impeachment post holding office when you've already gone, you've served your term. You're seeing Joe Biden's administration being impeded by Donald Trump.
Think about that for a minute. I mean, just think about that for a minute.
And it goes to what he said, which is that obsession.